Welcome to our NHL and NBC studios. This is the Push for the Playoffs, our new YouTube show. Along with Keith Jones and Mike Milbury, I'm Catherine Tappan. Let's show you what the lineup is for episode number 3. And we begin with the Boston Bruins. Are they poised for a deep run? Concerned about Toronto's recent play? Vegas ready to make a repeat run, and will Chicago make the Stanley Cup playoffs? We'll discuss all those topics, starting with the Boston Bruins. And you look at them, Mike, how they are built, how they're playing right now. Do you think they have the opportunity to go deep in the playoffs? I
do. I think they have the opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. Recently, they've started to really, after the long stretch of unbeaten games, they hit a little road bump, but they came right back. And not too long ago against the Islanders, they were absolutely brilliant. It looks like everything about their team is rounding into form. Their goaltending has been outstanding. Their checking is terrific. Pastrnak is back and healthy and celebrating as only he can celebrate. Good movement on the power play from all comers. Chara will be a force to reckon with. I mean, he may be 42, but he doesn't look it. Matt Martin is a tough customer, too, by the way. And there's Tuukka Rask, who's, after a mid-year hiccup, has come on to be one of the top goaltenders in the National Hockey League. I think they're covered every which way, and I don't think there's any reason to not. I mean, listen, they're going to have to go through Tampa Bay and/or Washington. That is not going to be easy for anyone. But I think those three teams sort of lead the pack in terms of who can come out of that conference.
Right, and Boston's done it before back in 2011, so they have experienced success. Tampa's never got there. All the expectations are on Tampa to make a terrific run, but they do have to get through the Bruins. So looking forward to watching that division when the playoffs roll around.
Well, the fun part about this ride the Bruins have been on all season has been the banter among the teammates as well in the locker room. Clearly a relaxed environment. Brad Marchand tweeted this out recently to his teammate and line mate David Pastrnak: when you play in the NHL, but Lloyd Christmas has better jibs. Well, Pastrnak wasted no time getting back at number 63, tweeting at him with this: when you play in the NHL, but you can't even play hide and seek with your friends because your nose is always sticking out. This is good camaraderie in the locker room, Mike, right? It only means good things for the Bruins.
Listen, everybody knows Marchand likes to fool around that way on and off the ice, and Pastrnak has proven to be a real character, but they do seem to really like each other. That same could be said for Washington and Tampa, and that has to be there if you're going to play for something meaningful, and I mean that sincerely. Good teams really come around to liking each other.
Well, the one team that is not going to like any of this that's happening with the Boston Bruins are the Toronto Maple Leafs, Jonesy, who would face the Boston Bruins in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they've been on a bit of a skid lately. Yeah, no joking around going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's what happens when you're losing. It especially happens when you're not defending well and you're giving up a lot of goals, and that's been the case for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have been really leaking defensively, including their goaltender, Frederik Andersen, but I put the majority of the goals against on his teammates. They've lost a ton of defensive zone draws that have led to goals and led to anxiety for Kyle Dubas, who's looking on there from the general manager's perch. That theme has continued, including a 6-2 loss to the Ottawa Senators, and Mike Babcock has not been happy lately. He needs to get things corrected quickly.
And not many people have been happy with Mike Babcock. I mean, he seems to have been part of some real battles with some of his key players, Austin Matthews in particular. But I'm surprised that their defense has been so loosey-goosey with Babcock at the helm. I mean, a lot of defense is hard work and discipline, and those are two things he's known for dragging out of his team.
All right, let's shift to the West now, and one team that everyone's got their eye on are the Vegas Golden Knights. This was a team that appeared to be in a dream last year, Mike, in their first NHL season, and now they look primed to make a run again.
They do, and it all stems from the trading deadline deal they made for Stone from Ottawa, who came over. And they've been almost unbeatable since then. It seems to have just been the missing piece to the puzzle. Sometimes when you're a general manager and you make a move like that, and that was a big move. Everybody in the NHL was looking to find a way to land Stone. It says something to your team. It says, I believe in you guys, and even if you haven't all had a great year, I believe you can get it done again and get into the Stanley Cup Finals. I think it was a great move by George McPhee, and it's proven to be just exactly what the doctor ordered for Vegas. They're looking like they're going to have to be dealt with in a strong way if you're going to get to the Stanley Cup Finals coming out of the West.
Yeah, another tough division as well. San Jose also looks primed, although Vegas got through them rather easily the other night. Marc-Andre Fleury not healthy right now, and they're winning games with Malcolm Subban. I think the rest for Fleury should serve him well. He was one of the few players that was playing to his potential all season for Vegas, so lots to look forward to with the Vegas Golden Knights when the playoffs roll around.
The other two teams you mentioned in their division in the Pacific have clinched, Calgary and San Jose. Meanwhile, no one has clinched in the Central, and the wild card spots are still up for grab, which begs the question, can the Chicago Blackhawks grab one of them? Well, let's take a look at their remaining schedule. Coming up, their next 4 games. Very crucial opponents. They'll face Philadelphia first, and then back-to-back against Colorado, followed by Arizona. So 3 of the 4 in the playoffs, 2 of which Colorado and Arizona. They're jockeying with Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they can do it?
They have to get past Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is more desperate than Chicago right now, so that's an important game. But having an opportunity to play the teams that you're chasing is a gift at this time of year. So they have a chance. I don't think they're going to make it, but I think they're going to make it interesting, and that's kind of been the story for Chicago, really for the second half of the season, led by Patrick Kane, who's had an MVP-like season for the Hawks. And if they make the playoffs, he'll be in that conversation at the end of the year. Taves has been very good all year long, and he's going to need to be in the last 10 games or so as well. And Corey Crawford has really tightened things up for the Hawks defensively. He's made some key saves. He's healthy and back, and that's an important ingredient and will be an important player when these last few games roll around.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're going to make it either. And for me, that should take Patrick Kane out of the MVP running. As far as I'm concerned, if you're the MVP of a really bad team that can't make the playoffs, you shouldn't be considered for the award. And yet he has been brilliant over the whole course of the season. He and Jonathan Taves have had, you know, maybe career years for both of them. And maybe the absence of Corey Crawford in the end will have been the sort of Achilles heel that keeps them out.
All right, but it'll certainly keep us watching, that's for sure. The push for the playoffs continues with just over 2 weeks remaining in the regular season.